Why is that suggestion not palatable to you? The amendment of Section 104 of the Criminal Offences Act
to
expand to include all of these things.
If you amend it and you include the bill with a few little tweaks, that will be fine. But you see, the bill has a structure. This bill is conceived, and when I hear people anti-LGBT, sorry, that's LGBT propaganda. It is a bill to promote proper human sexual rights and Ghanaian family values.
Yes,
that's very
but that's where they think then if you have that title, you are insufficient because you don't include rape, you don't include defilement,
we're going to
you don't include fornication,
you
don't include adultery.
Those matters are already handled by our law. We are looking at
but
areas,
that's the point you're making. Sodomy is already handled by
but it's not. You see, it doesn't cover the areas of LGBTQIA. You know it yourself, Paul. And there are other issues like the definition of what marriage is. CUP 127 hardly deals with that matter. I mean, the Attorney General, brilliant young man. I mean, I had lots of discussions with Gottfried on this issue because he called me on a matter.
What did he say?
Well, I mean, we were discussing a few things in respect of CUP 127, whether or not it specifically says a marriage between a man, a male, and a female. It doesn't. So this law,
CUP 127 doesn't say that?
No, it's not.
What does it say?
You can only it just give by looking at the law and reading in totality, you come to the conclusion that marriage between a male and a female.
Yeah.
But it's not specific. So this law addresses that issue, and then issues of fosterage and adoption. Who should go and produce the children for you to come and foster and adopt them? So these other matters are handled, and then Ghanaian. What is Ghanaian? What's our family? You want to ensure that the family system is protected. Go and look at Article 12 of the EU Constitution itself. It recognizes that the family is the basic...
It is this family matter where they talk about fornication and adultery.
No, but adultery is criminalized in terms of bigamy under our law. And even with fornication, if you go defilement, handles those matters with respect to a certain age category. All right? So all those matters are
fornication. Two 22-year-olds who are not married, they intend to get married, they're having sex.
But customary law handles that matter beautifully, and even adultery, right? Our customary law is part of our law, and the rules, if two young people do those things and they are caught, that's against our custom. And we're going to speak against this way of talking to the children and walking them away from that behavior.
If I'm a married man and I have sex with another woman who may or may not be married, it's not criminalized under the criminal code.
No, it is. It's bigamy. If you're married, it's under the ordinance, it is bigamy.
What's the grounds for divorce have to be found?
Yeah, but it is bigamy. It's an offense, Paul. You're asking whether it's criminal. It is criminal.
It depends on the kind of marriage I have.
No, yes, but if
I have a 127 marriage, yes. If I have a traditional marriage or an Islamic marriage, no.
Yeah, but even if it is under customary law, if you're not married to the woman under customary law, you can be taken through the customary processes and you'll be charged with, they call it ayefare, you will pay a compensation for that. So customary law has got a compensatory system or a penal system for people who get involved in those things. Quite often, I hear a lot of argument, but they always forget that our customary law is also part of our law. And I went to witness at Adom-Otchere how when these LGBT people were arrested, the Traditional Council brought them before the Traditional Council and they were tried. It was beautiful. And the way they pacified, the community, because it's an abomination, and made sure that the whole community in Oboming realized that this is wrong, it was fantastic. And it reinforces the position that that's the way we've got to go. Go to the north, the Wala chief. He's come to the conclusion that the whole thing has gathered momentum in Wala. Why is it so? It is so because, although we know that the government has said no comprehensive sexuality education at the school-based level, the community-based strategy by the LGBT NGOs is going on underground. Paul, we'll give you the data. We're going to have a press conference soon. We'll show it all out there. That's why young people are being attracted. You know it, Ola Secondary School. The lady, the headmistress says that people are being paid 1,500 Ghana cedis to be recruited into clubs. And
lesbianism.
Exactly, lesbian clubs.
1,500.
Precisely.
Students,
it's happening.
15, 16-year-olds.
Yes, it was in the media. I'm sure that my people sent you a lot of the documentation. If we have time, we could play it. The headmistress was, livid and begging parents to check out what their children are doing. That's why we need to criminalize the promotion and the advocacy. Look, the American Embassy, in April or March, they made a publication in the Daily Graphic, which is a state media, looking for somebody who will advocate for them. For what reason?
Yeah, I had the foreign ministry.
Exactly.
Let me just get our viewers of Metro TV. Then we continue on social media. Thank you very much, Metro TV. We continue on social media. So you're worried about American embassy's daily graphic stories, but you're not telling me whether you and the coalition don't like the suggestion that let the criminal code do it instead of a new bill in Parliament.
Well, we discussed it before. We would discuss either a specific law or an amendment to it. And we came to the conclusion that because there are so many factors to be considered, and this is a very gargantuan area. As I said, I had lots of discussion with the Attorney General. He realized there's a lot that he himself needs to learn. He's brilliant, fantastic. And clearly, if we can adopt what we have done with a few tweaks here and there, that will be fine. But you've got, as I said, there's a policy basis on which the law was drafted. We stated what the proper human sexual rights were. We stated what the Ghanaian values are. And by the way, we captured all the, the language that we use to, construct the phraseology, the drafting language from the Constitution as to what Ghanaian family values are. We captured all of that from the Constitution, Article 34, Article 39.1, 39.2, 39.3, 26. All of it is what we use to define what Ghanaian family values are. So it is in that context that we did the prohibitions. And then there's a third aspect of care and support for victims and treatment for victims. Because people talk about the fact that, we've criminalized, we're sending them to prison. You read clause 20, I have marked it here. Can you read it to your audience? I think that'll be very nice. What I have marked, it will explain.
This is the bill.
Yes.
20.
The memorandum table.
Clause 20 provides a flexible sentencing regime for persons found liable for offences under the bill. The court may, in addition to imposing a sentence under the bill, make such orders as are appropriate to serve the interest of justice or secure the welfare or well-being of the convicted persons if the convicted person openly recants and requests access to approved medical help or treatment, and the court is satisfied that the request of the convicted person is genuine. This positions the bill as a social protection tool rather than an instrument to exclude, discriminate against, or victimize LGBTQIA+ persons.
Exactly. So if you are arrested and you are even convicted, if you recant and the judge recognizes that your recantation is proper, and you will do that through a psychologist or a counselor, then there'll be no custodial sentence. You will then be given access to available treatment. So clearly what we have done is that those who are suffering, who need help, nobody's going to be going to prison. No, they will be helped out of their situation. And
so who will go to prison? The one who doesn't
the funding, yes. The ones who say, I love it, I like it, I'm going to do it, I don't care who. And those who are funding and promoting it and are not prepared to give up. Those are the people that we're going after. So if you really read the law, you will see that there's care, there's support, there's help for those who really need the help. And that's what we need. And also, there's a duty not to carry out instant justice. And if you do so, it's an offense. I mean, most LGBT laws or what they call, they don't have these provisions. But because we have thought through all of this, and because of the experience that we've had, all of this is in there. And I think that's why I'm saying that if it's going to be adopted as an amendment, then you've got to pick this in totality, make a few changes here and there to maybe make some people feel a bit comfortable, or maybe to address some issues that probably wouldn't look, because we're humans, we can make mistakes. But in reality, you cannot take out the policy stretch of this particular law. Otherwise, you will not be addressing the real issues of advocacy, which are critical to where the LGBT movement functions.